You know something? I never noticed how awesome the soundtrack sounds tonight. It's like I'm listening to jazz music in addition to the piano. But if I listen to the soundtrack during the day, as I said before, I feel like I'm slowly approaching the end of the game. Well, it's more noticeable now since I really am approaching the end of the game. Anyway, let's talk about that 7-star Skeledirge event, shall we? Now, previously I said that the event started on March 6th, but turns out it started on March 7th instead. I only said March 6th that time because that's what it said on Cerebi. So yeah, the event started on March 7th, and it'll end on March 13th. Anyway, that's Skeledirge. Its turn type is Fire, its ability is Unaware, its nature is Rash, and it knows the moves Torch Song, Shadow Ball, Stomping Tantrum, and Hyper Voice. And its additional moves, Disarming Voice, and Flame Charge. So what did I do against that thing? Oh man, that thing gave me a whole lot of trouble. Well anyway, knowing that Unaware is going to be a huge issue for me, I had to do something about that. Which I did in the form of using a Malamar. So the moves I gave my Malamar consisted of Terra Blast, Superpower, Rain Dance, and Skill Swap. Its turn type was Water, and its held item was the Shell Bell. So first off, I used Skill Swap so that way I could take Unaware away from Skeledirge and replace it with Contrary, so that way if Skeledirge went for moves like Torch Song or Flame Charge, then it will lower its own special attack and speed respectively like an idiot. And that's exactly what it did. Okay, after it did that thing where it gets rid of your ability for a turn as well as your stat boosts, that's when I started using Superpower. Well, actually, I had to die first, that way Malamar could retain its Contrary ability. So yeah, when it killed Malamar, it did that thing where it gets rid of your ability as well as your stat boost. So yeah, at that point, that's when I started to use Superpower. I use this that way, my attack will go all the way up to +6. Alright, after that was done, I used Rain Dance that way. Terra Blast will do a lot more damage since my Terra type was Water. But it looks to me like that wasn't really cutting all that much, so I had to use something else. And that something else was in the form of Tentacruel. Its Terra type was Water, its ability was Clear Body, and I gave it the moves Throat Chop, Acid Spray, Rain Dance, and Surf. But once again, its held item being the Shell Bell. So I used Throat Chop so that way I could prevent Skeledirge from going with moves like Torch Song, Hyper Voice, and Disarming Voice. And then I used Acid Spray a few times so that way I could harshly lower its special defense. Then afterwards I used Rain Dance so that way I could power up Surf. And then Terra Slice so that way Surf will do a lot more damage. But eventually it did that thing where it gets rid of its own negative effects, and ultimately I ran out of time capturing that Skeledirge. However, online I saw somebody use a Malamar against Skeledirge, so I figured I might as well give Malamar another try. And once again, as you can imagine, when I gave it Contrary via Skill Swap, it was lowering its own stats like an idiot again. But ultimately, I actually managed to capture that Skeledirge, just barely, because yeah, when I was running out of time, I managed to get a lucky critical hit, because if not for that critical hit, then I would have ran out of time, and I would have failed to capture that Skeledirge again. Oh yeah, and also I fought that thing again because yes, I wanted to fight that Skeledirge again, so that way I could see whether or not Tentacruel was the right Pokemon to use. And yeah, somehow I managed to take down Skeledirge. So yeah, I guess my first attempt, I just got really unlucky. So yeah, I guess Malamar and Tentacruel are two good Pokemon to use against that Skeledirge. Alright, moving on to something else. Now, remember that 24-match gauntlet I was talking about back at the survival area? Yeah, I was giving some huge thought about whether or not I want to do that gauntlet. Well, after giving it some huge thought and thinking over, I decided. Yes. Yes, I am going to do that 24-match gauntlet. Why? Because, well, as I said before, when you complete that gauntlet, you get the grand prize of a Master Ball, which I intend to use to capture Arceus. So why do I want another Master Ball? Well, it's quite simple. In this game, when I encounter Arceus, it's going to be at level 80, and it'll know the moves Recover, Blast Burn, Hydro Cannon, and Judgment. Yeah, all three of those attacks have at least 100 power. Not to mention the fact that we're talking about a Pokemon with 120 in all of its stats. And with it having a base stat total of 720, yeah, I can only take attacks like that for so long. Well, I could try and use Clefable's Cosmic Power to tank those hits, but then there's that bullshit critical hit ratio that this game has to consider. which will go right through my defense boost. And there's also recover to think about as well. So yeah, I'm going to put myself through a huge gauntlet so that way I can get another Master Ball and capture Arceus using that Master Ball. Now, as soon as I'm done fighting every single trainer in the game and catch the legendaries I haven't captured yet, I'm not going to tackle that gauntlet quite yet. I'm going to wait until after I beat the Elite Four again, so that way I'll be at a decent enough level. Because remember, whatever Pokemon I lead with in that gauntlet, it will remain my lead Pokemon for the entire gauntlet. And also, I want to do that side quest that will eventually unlock Arceus, in addition to completing the Pokedex. So after that side quest, you'll see what it is a bit later. Originally, I was going to say no to doing that gauntlet, but after knowing what Arceus is going to have in its arsenal, yeah, I feel like I have no choice. I really got to do that gauntlet so that way I could get another Master Ball, so that way catching Arceus will be a piece of cake. Now, back to that Skeletor for a second. There are some other Pokemon that I could use against that thing. Well, actually, it's other Pokemon that other people can use against that thing. Pokemon like Kyogre and Manaphy. Yeah, everywhere I look, it's always those two. Well, I believe Kyogre and Groudon are supposed to be version exclusives in Scarlet and Violet, although I could be wrong about that because I don't quite recall capturing Groudon in my Pokemon Scarlet game. If I was playing another game, then yeah, maybe I would have considered using Kyogre. Oh, really? Substitutes? I mean, I only went with Dialga because knowing that color change is going to change Kecleon into a Dragon type, I figured I might as well use Dragon Pulse so that way I can score super effective damage on Kecleon. But not if it starts using substitutes. Recover 2, huh? Well, it doesn't matter because I'm pretty sure I'm able to take down Kecleon from that amount of HP. Yeah, I know that Kecleon has very good special defense, but yeah, I want to use its own ability against it. So yeah, Kyogre, I guess that would have been an easy Pokemon to use against that Skeletor, because, well, there's Drizzle. But actually, if I did decide to use Kyogre, then, yeah, I may have to use Calm Mind as well, because, well, those 7-star Pokemon are 7-star for a reason. They're pretty hard to take down. So yeah, I might have to go with Calm Mind, so that way I could boost my special attack stat, and hope that Surf will do a lot more damage, in addition to the Rain, and also Kyogre Terastallizing into a Water type. Although I have to time my stat boost wisely because, well, when I was using Malamar against that Skeletor, yeah, I did go down because, yeah, I think Skeletor had one too many special attack boosts. And while I was down, as I said, yeah, it did do that thing where it gets rid of your stat boost as well as your ability. So yeah, if I didn't time that properly, then I would have lost all my stat boosts, and yeah, I don't think there was any way I was going to take down that Skeletor, because, remember, Superpower only has 5 power points. Well, 8 if you use any PP ups or PP max. So yeah, I had to use my power points wisely. And as for Manaphy, well, the only thing I could do is use Tail Glow twice, so that way I could give myself +3 in special attacks. That way, whatever water type move I have, it'll do a lot of damage to Skeletor. But once again, I have to time my stat boost wisely, so that way I don't lose them all. Well, then again, I believe Tail Glow has more power points than Superpowers, so yeah, I guess I could afford to make one mistake, because, well, not that there's anything wrong with that. And as for other Pokemon I could use that are not Pokemon like Kyogre and Manaphy, Quagsire and Kommo-o. Quagsire I don't consider to be very good because, as I said before, it doesn't have any stats over 100. Although, with the ability Unaware, I guess I can help you out a little bit. Alright, here we are on Route 228, the last route in the game. Okay, I'm just going to put Dialga in the lead so that way I could avoid taking damage from the Sandstorm. Now, the last time we were here, I did fight a boss trainer because I was required to do that if I wanted to move on to Stark Mountain. This time around, I'm going to fight other trainers here until there are no more trainers for me to fight left in the game. But actually, there's still some boss trainers, but we'll get to that at a later date. So yeah, Quagsire with Unaware. That's going to ignore Skeletor's special attack buffs from Torch Song. Well, yeah, I did try doing that one time. Well, I did something similar to that. But, yeah, ignoring stat boost using Unaware, that can really help you out for so long. Especially if you're using a Pokemon that doesn't have any stats over 100, like Quagsire. As for Kommo-o, well, I would use it if I was playing Scarlet, but turns out Como-O is only exclusive to Violet. Well, both of his abilities could potentially wall Skeletors, either bulletproof or soundproof. If I were to make a suggestion, maybe soundproof because, well, I guess Skeletors has more moves that involve sound than wall or bomb moves. If you go with bulletproof, then I guess, yeah, it can't use Shadow Ball since bulletproof will make you immune to Shadow Ball. But you should really go with soundproof because, yeah, Torch Song, Hyper Voice, and Disarming Voice, yeah, that's going to get blocked out by soundproof. Although it will do that thing where it gets rid of your abilities, so yeah, that could be a problem. Well, then again, I guess you could use Protects, that way you won't feel the full sting of its moves. Well, it all depends on what move you take. So yeah, using Como-O, I guess that could be a good Pokemon, but unfortunately it's a version exclusive, so I had to go with something like Malamar or Tentacruel. Okay, I believe there's a hidden item right below me, so I'm just going to grab it after I'm done fighting this guy. Now, I'm not really sure what other Pokemon I could use against that Skeleturge. Well, if I knew any other Pokemon, then maybe I would have fought that Skeleturge more than twice, since, yeah, as I said previously, I've finally seen the light, and I really enjoy fighting those 7-star Pokemon. Although they're pretty tough to take down, but yeah, that's pretty much the deal. It's a 7-star Pokemon, so yeah, you really gotta keep on your toes. Oh, Drain Punch? Well, I had no idea that this Hypno had that move, but didn't really do all that much damage. Yeah, to me, I think Hypno is more of a special attacker. So I finally made it to the last round in the game. Wow, how far I've went. Actually, no wait, I don't think that's how... I don't think that's how it goes. I think it's, actually, you know what? Screw that. What I'm saying is, yeah, I went, pretty far. Yeah, I think I started this Let's Play 2 years ago, and, yeah, it did take, quite a bit of time for me to complete this because, well, I had so many things going on. Let's see, there was, allergy attacks, me getting sick because of that, virus that was going around. I think you know what that virus is. And most of the time it was just, me, controlling my emotions. Yeah, for the most part, yeah, it just got so bad to the point where I couldn't control my emotions at all, and, yeah, I couldn't really make videos like that. How far I come, yeah, that's how the saying goes. Yeah, sorry about that, it's just that, I'm not very good at, certain sayings like that. Yeah, I'm using Shaman because, well, I could use Giratina, but, I think Shaman needs the action a lot more than Giratina does. And besides, this Gallade's not really doing a whole lot of damage, just using Feint and nothing else. Okay, now that Gallade is down, let's see what that hidden item is. Yeah, I know there's a hidden item in this area because I picked it up so many times. Okay, anything else you're going to say? Okay, good to know. Okay, where is that item? Oh, man. Okay, I was about to say, I hope I don't have to whip out the dowsing machine because of this, but, I may have to. Should I risk it? Okay, sure, why not? Okay, good, I went first. And I was actually scared for a second that maybe I would miss because maybe this Dugtrio has Sandville for an ability, because yes, that can happen. Okay, I believe that hidden item should be, right next to me, hopefully. Alright, there it is, a PP Max. Okay, I believe there's a house over here. Let's see if I can try and get inside of it. Okay, got this guy here. Alright, let's see what he has to say. Oh yes, it is from Sunny Shore. Well, you been there? Yeah, sure, why not? Grandson, huh? Oh, he must be talking about Cyrus, so this must be Cyrus's grandfather. Well, as we know already, he comes from Sunny Shore, so apparently, he was raised by high expectation parents, meaning they accept nothing but success. So because of that, Cyrus started taking with machines because he liked machines more than human interaction, since human beings didn't treat him very well. Okay, so it looks like he's wondering whether or not he should have raised Cyrus himself, because if he did, then maybe Cyrus would have been a completely different person, and he never would have been the leader of Team Galactic. But I guess we'll never know that, because he's nowhere to be seen. Alright, looks like we're done here, so next time, more of Route 228. See you next time.